since we brought it up, I guess we're obliged to kind of talk about it a little bit, even though I feel like it has been talked to death on every other show, including Midnight's Edge, which I watched it yesterday.
Did you talk about their Reddit or hear about the subreddit being shut down for a while because it's too much to handle with their mods?
Oh God, no, I didn't hear about that. Are you serious?
Also put the live chat into sub only mode with the qualifier that you had to be subscribed for like a month.
I don't know.
Wow.
Unless they made a statement and it's on their Twitter or something. Mackie is in the infinite loading screen.
That's kind of cool. Does it mean he has an Infinity Stone?
No, that just means he can't find his way out of the Matrix.
I don't want to show clips from that because it's been clipped to death, and I'm sure if you haven't seen it, all you got to do is look all over Twitter, and somebody has reposted it somewhere.
Okay, the whole bangable thing. Were they actually getting comments like that, or is that like they got one or none, and she just took it and made a preachy thing about it?
I will be honest. I feel like that entire rant was not only pre-programmed, pre-written, but I also feel like it was a response to the criticism that they were getting over that Red Dead Redemption 2 online, the words that she had about that and the stuff that she was talking about it, and that whole thing was manufactured deflection.
That's kind of what I thought.
I can sum this up pretty quick right here.
Yeah, right there.
You guys ready?
If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Problem solved.
If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace.
Welcome to 2022, everybody.
Just so much cringe.
So much cringe.
God.
What now?
And people aren't going to watch it, so it's not really a good way to relaunch your channel.
Oh no.
Right.
I think masochists will watch it. You know, the ones that like being yelled at by angry sugar mamas and sugar daddies? That Twitch has that whole community. It's in between tongue licking and please give me more money. I know where you live. I Googled your email online, and I know you're all engineers that are married. Wait, that's Invader V. My bad.
I think she's bangable. I think people seriously underestimate the value of a hate fuck.
I'm with Grim on this 100%.
No, but there are pictures of her when we talked about this on the show as no name. I just threw someone together for fun, right? And Arden was there, Ironcaster was there. We had some other people there, and we went over this in depth. She does know how to make herself look pretty, and I begin to agree with a lot of people saying out there. Not only is the rumor that Adam Sessler, the SEAL Team simp that was clapping on the TV,
you mean the coke addict?
The nut job? Yeah, the cesspool of his own jerking off in the corner by himself, lonely in tears.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the one. You got him, Graham. You got good cosplay right there. He really wrote her. Too. Yeah, he wrote that whole rant, and I swear to God, I think he even told her to dress like that because we've seen pictures and went through pictures of how she actually looks when she wants to present herself, and we lost somebody.
That would be Mac. He finally the infinite tunnel finally swallowed him.
And and the way she looks at presenting like for stuff, like especially like doing game events and stuff. If it was a couple comments, I highly doubt that if they were gamers, they would not be able to take that. Everyone's been in a Modern Warfare 2 lobby. Everyone's been in a place where you hear 99 mom jokes coming from people who haven't even hit puberty. It sounds like the chipmunks are trying to come at you. Everyone has been there. This is just
manufactured.
Bill Cosby won't even touch this anymore.
Well, she was talking about how she wasn't bangable and all this sort of stuff, and with the way she dressed, et cetera, and I'm kind of like, I think you underestimate how you look to some people because even with the
I
meth
think she
teeth,
underestimates what some people are willing to sleep with.
But it's not even that. I've actually had a gaming journalist, literally Chris Sikello, whatever his name, Scully, whatever his name was, right? He started to go, well, I stand with this journalist, and this is this, and this, and she's making perfect sense. And then I was reading through his comments, and he's like, oh, and then someone said something. He's like, well, I mean only the men. I'm like, what the hell do you mean only the men? Women objectify other women too. You are not even being inclusive. You're doing a one-line narrative. Guy blocked me, tweet posting.
No one.
Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, it's nice to know your wife still has your balls somewhere in the microwave down the block at her boyfriend's house.
No one attacks women the way other women do.
No way. It's catfight. It's like Rosa Gonzalez.
we have two women on the panel. I would like them to address that, ladies. Is that true?
Oh, women be bitches. Some of them really can be bitches.
Yeah, they are. They are.
No one hates women more than other women.
Women as girls can be some of the most brutal bullies and say some of the most heinous things in the world to other girls. So this thing that you're supposed to support a woman just because she's got tits and a vagina. No, that's not how it works. We're all individuals, but yes, women can be horrible to other women.
So specifically, if you had listened, if you paying attention to what she was saying in it, she was complaining about the fact that people in the chat were talking about Olivia and Morgan, the two previous female hosts who were famous for being very attractive and being hot on there talking about all the
Ironcaster
pop culture stuff.
Let me put this in a way that all Texans will understand. She was finer than Olivia Munn is finer than frog hair. Okay.
Okay.
Well, here's my.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Squeak. No, Squeak hadn't had a chance.
Well, women, and I agree somewhat with what Arwen has said. Women can be bitches and they can be bullies, but a big percentage of that bullying and that animosity is because we're driven that way because we have these comparison standards of this girl is so hot and this girl is amazing and she's so bangable, and the ones that are not are left with all of this shame at why can't I be like that, and it manifests in bullying and anger. So a lot of it is the standard of just being compared like that drives girls to that. I'm not trying to push all the blame on guys. Girls can be mean. I mean, heck, once a month we want to kill something, but that is where a lot of it comes from.
That's a good point. But most of my high school years, I was in a girls' school, so we didn't have any guys around to influence that. We didn't have any guys around to compare ourselves. I got a crush on him, or I got a crush on him, or whatever. So yeah, I agree with what Squeaka is saying, but I also think some of that is personality and some of that is just, you smell blood in the water and you're going to go for it.
Right, and women are hardly
women.
Women are emotional creatures anyways, and we're not afraid to show it. So whereas guys might try to tough out the being mean or sad or whatever, girls are like, no, girl, you cross me, let's roll. Like, let's do this.
Hold my baby, Mexican Rosa, Mortal Kombat.
Girl, you better step back.
Some of it I do think is an outlook and a confidence thing, because if you have a woman, no matter what she looks like, I mean, she could wear jeans and baggy sweatshirts, have her hair shaved, whatever. That could be her thing. But if she is truly confident in herself, she is not going to give a shit at the Barbie doll next door. She's not going to care. Oh God, I'm so sorry. We're not supposed to be cussing on here.
I got to interject now on this one.
Why?
Because I had one girl.
You had a Barbie doll?
I did. It was called My Hand. Shush. We don't talk about that. I had an ex. She was very confident in how she looked, or maybe she put up a good front because she was like one of those kind of candy goth things that, like, the forehead piercings, wore the big shoes, dressed all a certain way. Yet she was confident enough to dress like that, but she was also confident enough to demean me every freaking night for 6 years. So I think it also depends on how they're raised. I'm not just owning what you're saying, either Arwen or Squeaka. I think it all develops when the starting environment is and how the personality grows from that, on how the outside sources also affect. Because she was nuts. I still have a scar in my head.
That's 100% true.
But did she do that to other women as well?
Yeah, any woman I talked to. Yes, any woman I talked to, she was at my face. Any of my female friends, she was at my face. As soon as I got home, the claws came out, and she was coming at me going, "You should be talking to her. None of your friends like you. None of my friends like you. I'm the only one who likes you." Every night. And then she would ask me things. So why are you sleeping on the couch and not on the bed? Because you're too fucking ugly to sleep in the bed with. I want to sleep on the couch and actually get some sleep. Sorry about the French. That's how my nights went.
Okay, but all this aside, does anybody else besides me think that this was all just some bullshit deflection?
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Okay. Because that's the main part of it. It
was manufactured outrage.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
I definitely felt it was manufactured outrage.
They needed someone to get their attention because literally they're just a Twitch stream, so they need something to stand out from everything else.
It doesn't feel like they're getting the support and publicity that it would even a year ago. I mean,
No.
yeah, lots of people are talking about it, but they're not getting people defending them quite as much as it used to be.
And you got all the journalists, like these journalists, soys that are coming out. I'm going to say soys because I'm serious, supporting her, thinking this is all real. And then as soon as you contradict them, they back away right away and go into their echo chamber while then talking crap the next day. And it's not just her, but it's not just her. The rest of their staff too, who are in this feed that's on Frosticoon's thing, are literally saying, we don't need you. We don't need your respect. I'm like, you don't have any of our viewership then. And they've been dropping 1K subs since this stuff has happened, like constant.
And I don't know anything about this situation, but manufactured or not, if you go with the manufactured angle, it makes more sense, because if you're going to target and want a good victim, you're going to, we're talking about like whether she's bangable or not, you're going to talk to the one that people are going to have the most, I guess, sympathy and empathy and draw towards, rather than using one of the ones that is everybody's favorite.
So to me, that part came across as jealousy, and the rest of it was just kind of standard boilerplate. The entire gaming industry and all the fandom are horrible sexists, which is not true and not something you want to say about your audience.
True.
Part of the thing is, G4 is famous. Like, that was one of the reasons why G4 is remembered, is because they did like incredibly like lean into the attractiveness of their female host.
One of their most famous things from G4 was Olivia Munn with like 20 hot dogs shoved in her mouth.
Yep.
That's on the cover of Maxim magazine.
Her pony pile. And
this is narrative pushing, and I think it's being found out by how you're seeing games journalists. I use that loosely because the only thing you've written is how sad you are in your little diary under your pillow. It's beginning to feel more like narrative, and this was a type of like the way Lucasfilm staff go at people who got High Republic. It's the same type of thing. What they're doing is an advertising campaign using victim, martyr, and rage, because that's the way YouTube is running right now. A lot of rage, a lot of hate clicks, because everyone gets addicted to that stuff real quick. I think they tried to go down they tried to do an advertising campaign based off martyr, hatred, and rage with gaslight words, phrases, and fake hurt fifis. And it's turned back on them, and they realize, because we're reaching that point where it's reaching the full circle of this 1% crap of fake rage and fake whatever, it's blowing up in their faces. People are addicted to hate clicks, because now the hate clicks is no longer about what the person said, is how people are breaking down that hate. And eventually it's going to just wipe itself out. You never yell at your customers. It's a workplace. This is the number one mistake with this video and her rant. This is the number one mistake. We've all done this when we get a job. You leave your personal shit at the door. You're going to run into bad customers. You either deal with them, move on, then ignore them, do the rest of your day, go home. If you can't do that, if any of us did this in any type of job, we would have been fired.
And sexism, patriarchy, all that. That's the popular whipping boy of today.
Hold on. I got my script writers getting my reply for you. 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
You pull that out, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. That was the other thing that she did, too, is she pretty much straight up admitted they just read scripts. Like, okay, well, then, so you don't actually play the games or anything that you're reviewing, so why should we trust you?
Her wiki. Don't ever believe a wiki. No offense. Wikis can be changed on the fly to suit anyone's needs. She has a borderline personality disorder. That's just, and then you're using it as an excuse or whatever.
Yeah, that's got nothing to do with what she said.
If she actually felt like she crossed the line and effed up, there would have been an apology already. She's been inciting more.